I'm a programmer, right? So I'm going to share my screen. So we're going to work with that code together. I'm going to work with that code together. So you guys really tried. I'm impressed. You utilized your knowledge well. So um, I want to introduce one JavaScript this thing called slice. How many of us know slice? So let's say for that new for assignment one I gave to us, I said write a code that does what again? Take users inputs and displays to them number of input left. Can you guys see me? Ah, the internet don't off. Ah, imagine not this thing I've been saying here. I didn't record it. Ah, I just started my recording. So, for the recording, this is the first assignment that I gave.
I was close now.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Everybody was- So, whenever you're given a problem, it's not sometimes it's about thinking out the solution, thinking about how to get it solved. Then your work will actually be easier. That's why these days there are even UI UX designers, so that somebody that will think out the product, think out the color, think out the typography, so that the developer now will not come and be stressing himself with all those. All he has to do is just build what he's been given. So yeah, so this is it here. The assignments. I'm counting the tweet post. We call the variable here tweet that collects the prompt of the user. And then we call another variable here tweet count that takes the length of the tweet. Right. So now let's move to the next thing I spoke about. Bro, this your bag every day. I'm jam my monitor. So what was the second assignment I gave again? That is going to the excessive characters is going to cut it off, right? Right, guys.
I wasn't aware of that one.
It's in the group there. The assignment was dropped in the group. So if you are not
I
aware,
wasn't in class yesterday. It's today I even powered my phone.
no problem now. My own is that the assignment is in the group. Can you check the group and confirm what I said? I said,
Okay, okay.
where is the second assignment? Put the second assignment here. Write another tweet app or JavaScript that only displays an alert that displays an alert of only the accepted character count and discards the remaining. So what I simply want you to do here is if you go and enter something more than 100 characters, it's not going to, this one is telling us we enter 167 characters. We have minus 67 left. What that one is going to do to us is it's going to display to us the character that we entered and cut out the remaining off. So what we want to see is, so maybe what we want to see is something. Let me comment this first. Let's delete this. Let's call back the alert. Alert switch. How are you? So, yes, so we've solved one step of that. And then here could be possibly, um, yeah, I would like to introduce to us what we call slice. Do we all know the JavaScript method called slice?
I think I have a little idea.
Okay, please tell us that a little idea.
Um, Slice works. Oh, no. Sorry. I don't.
But if you plug down here, we will get closer to you, like, yeah, also. You say
Right on.
red on.
You know, continue.
I have not heard your little
It's
idea
not
of
what I was thinking. It's not what I was thinking. Don't worry.
yeah. Eh, your little idea is not what you were thinking. Senior man. All right.
Okay. Even if
Okay,
it's
go
not
ahead.
correct, don't worry. Slice in an array, slice would
All right, it's okay. This thinking is taking too long. So, what slice, like the name implies, is that we use it to slice. When you hear slice, normally it means you want to slice, right? You want to cut something off. You want to divide something or however it will mean. So, there's a method in JavaScript called slice. And let us look at how it works. So, let's take for instance, so we'll test it out on the console now, right? Let's take for instance, I create I create a variable name Chukwuemeka Amadi, right? Um, so if we do name dot slice, how do we use name dot slice? Yeah, you see that it says we put a start and we put the end. So it's almost like the arrays that we spoke about. It's almost like the arrays that we spoke about in the sense that remember the first is always zero. Programming, your computer starts to number as zero. Our first will be zero. Let me see what Then we put our end. Did you see what happened there?
Yes, yes.
So it started from our zero, which is C. And then we said it should end at 2, which is normally you would think that it will end at well, normally when we say 2 in this string, which one is 2?
You.
U, right? So
Yeah.
normally it should be 0, 1, 2. But slice just adds that little difference in the sense that the 0, 1, 2. So it cuts at that 2. The index number 2, that's exactly where it will cut. So it's not going to include it. It's going to cut at it. It's just like, let's say you have a crate of egg. How many in one line of that crate? How many is it? A crate of egg is how many by how many? Like the length and the width. The length and the height is how many by how many?
6 by 5.
Huh?
6 by 5.
6 by 5. Okay.
Yes.
So let's say we want to take the six aspects and we use our slice and we say slice from 0 to 5. How many eggs do you think we would have?
Your question again, please.
Okay, let's use that. Let's use a code on this first. Let's call this egg crate, and there are 1, 2, 3. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Egg crate dot slice. We want to start at 0 and we want to end at 5. So how many do you think is going to be made available? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How many will be made available if we end at 5? Eh? Any trial before we run the code?
We'll stop at 5.
Stop at 5. Yeah, exactly. You're correct. Let's see if that's true. Right. And it's true. Stop at 5. So it's always that that ending. Just have this in your mind so that you don't mix it up when you're writing your arrays or objects. Only slice, fact. It's ending. That end you give to it, that is the point it will cut. So that your end is not going to be included. Okay? So when I said write that code that takes your tweet, just like we saw that Twitter does here, all those minus that is given to us, right? Say say we want to force it, if it was back then, we want to force the post to post like that. All these other places that it highlighted red, they will all be cut off. They will all be cut off, right? So let's say we want to incorporate that in our code. Remember when our user in, gives their input, right? It displays to them everything they inputted. It displays to them everything they inputted. And we want to pass in something that if it exceeds 100, every other thing there will be cut off. And I said, what JavaScript method would we use to do that?
Slice.
Slice. All right. So can I stop sharing my screen? Let someone try that out. Just say let it not look as if I'm the one just doing everything. I will not give you assignments, you cannot do it. You say it's hard. So let's just who can just think out a solution for this first? Nobody. How can we solve
Mister.
this? Okay. So I should stop sharing my screen and wait for you guys, Abi. As soon as you are through, please just signify, so that we can move to the next thing. So I think we should continue. I think we should continue. I don't know why this simple thing is taking so long. What's the matter? We've just learned how can we hear me guys? Can we hear me? Yeah. Hello? Hello? Hello?
Yes.
Can you guys hear me? I'm on. I dey ask you a simple question rather than dey hear me. Don't mind. My mic is showing that I'm talking here.
Yes, I can hear you.
How for you? So if you can hear me since you cannot answer me since. Alright, it's fine. Like we said earlier, we've seen how slice work. All we have to do is to slice. So that means we give it a start and we give it an end. So that means if we want our users to get 100, they shouldn't see more than 100. can simply do something like alert, tweet the slice, 101, right? Because we know it's going to cut that. Because we know that by this, from 0 to 100 will be displayed. And if we run it, see that it's that easy. So it cut out from this tweet, cut out from here, plus TWA. So it's just that easy, right? Just that easy. No big deal. So I'm just trying to, when you hear somebody is a programmer, when you hear somebody, like, you literally have to sit down and think of problems and how you can use code to solve those problems. That is the moment you can now boast to yourself that I am a programmer. I am a programmer, right? Now there's a let's look at another simple code. There is a very popular. How many of us know about the BMI calculator? How many of us have heard about the BMI calculator? BMI is an acronym for body mass index. Guys are not responding to me. It's not encouraging. Should I just be talking like that and be going?
So I don't know about the BMI. Just to explain to us.
And
Sorry.
that's the talk now. So BMI is it means body mass index, right? And I just know that this is literally something that you would always see, even when it comes down to writing simple codes. Even when you it will, what you do is I think it takes your height, it takes your height and does something with your weight. Okay, look at it here now. Just give me your body mass index, right? I'm looking for the let's look for the formula for BMI. You see that the formula is mass mass divided by the square root of mass mass divided by height squared. Have you seen the formula here? Mass divided by height squared.
Yes, sir.
So do you think you can write a function that solves for BMI? You know, in our function, we can make our function be able to accept two parameters. Weight, which is mass, weight and height. Let me try that. So we'll write a function, give it a name, we call it BMI calculator. Then we want to pass in weight and height, right? Weight and height. Hmm, that's the function. So we can call a variable here that say let BMI equals to width divided by height. Is square root of height, right? So how do we do square root of height? Normally we can do this, right? We can do this, right?
Yes, sir.
And, and this will work fine because I'm saying square root instead of raised to power. If I say 5 raised to power 2, what I'm saying is 5 times 5, right? If I say 5 raised to power 3, what I'm saying is 5 times 5 times 5. But if you remember when we were treating math function, just like we had math dot floor, we had math dot round, this and that. We also have that for square in JavaScript, right? Who can remember what it is? It's called math dot power. Math math dot power. Let's look at it from our documentation again. The first one that popped up was MDN. My gosh, I'm not charging my laptop. How far, bro? How many days you connect here, man? How many days you connect? Yes. 3. I never put my battery don't low. And the only thing I connect then on my phone. Where this thing they connected? All right. Sorry for the break in transmission. And we can see how they called it here. Math.pow raised to power 2. So height raised to power 2, right? So what we want to do here is math.pow. So we call our height and we raise it to power 2. So that is our BMI. Let's run this code first. Let's see what happens. Let's call that function. Let's key in weight. What is your weight? Let's say I weigh 60 kg. Then height in meters. So I am 1.73. It didn't work. Okay, wait.
You did
We
not
need
use the
to
return.
we need to return it. We did not return PMI. Okay, yes. It has given me my BMI. Now, so we're having that multiple uh decimal places. And what do we say we can use to round up decimal places again?
Math.round.
Math dot round. What did you say?
Yes.
So what we've been using all this while is math dot floor. Okay? But then if you recall when we were looking at all those other math operators and stuff, that thing again. And math dot round. There's so many things there, right? We saw math dot round, math dot floor. Uh, So see all of them here. Where we said math dot pi, math dot square root. Then we started looking at floor, dot floor. And we said what math dot floor does it rounds the number down to the nearest integer. And we tried this thing and we saw that even though we have 2.6 or 2.7, instead of it to give us 3, it's going to give us 2, right? So it's rounding it down. And, but the one that is more mathematical correct is math dot round, especially when we have to do with, something as very important as body mass. Because what we want it to do is round a number to the nearest integer. Just like here now, 2.4 now will be rounded down to 2, and 2.5 will be rounded up 3, right? It's just Jesus. It's just two people. It was only one person in this call. Now it's two. Come on, God, I beg.
Network keeps me out.
God, I beg you. Let my prophecy not work. Oh.
It's
So,
network.
so he said it is mad around, right? We can try, um, we can use console.log. Now, when you log in the final answer, it should it should be a math dot round, right? Math dot round BMI. Let's run the code again.
Mm.
What did he say is the challenge now?
I
BMI is
said it's
not
network
defined.
that keep me.
Instead of
How
using
about we do?
console.log outside the
I have
function,
a
why don't you
question.
just return math.run BMI?
How will you say amount of BMI is not? I mean, maybe okay, I should fix it inside the function, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, because it's outside the function, let's run this inside the function. Okay, so it does work. Well, it's still not giving me the answer is stable.
Um,
This is what will happen. Let's
How about we
since we've
do
since we've done
how
our
console.log?
about you put
function,
it before the
since we've done
return
our
statement?
function, let's bring our BMI back here again. Let's now say our BMI. Okay, okay. Let's do this. BMI is equals to BMI calculator. Let's run this again. Ah, let me input what I gave to it here. 61.7. That's worked though. If I run this code here, it's giving me the 20. Hmm. Hmm. So, but if I want, let's say if I put that, if I put that, so I wrap it inside this function. So what will happen? Unexpected identifier. It will be inside here, marked the well, this is our function that solves for that, right? So that's for BMI calculator. Now, there are countless things that you can use to challenge yourself out there, right? You can decide to create a function that solves area of a circle, you know, that solves for circumference. All of these things will actually help you to understand better functions in JavaScript, right? So I just wanted to use, and you know, they are countless. And most times you may not just use everything. They will not be teaching you how to use everything, right? But when you're faced with a challenge on you're trying to do something and you get stuck one way or the other, see, just like I'm showing you how very important Google is. As you come on your Google, type what you are not sure about on Google. Pam pam pam. You type it on Google. You may see a function and just by using the dot, you just know how to use that function very well. And you go ahead, right? So let's quickly go back to a few things when we're talking about our arrays. Arrays is not here. So remember what we said arrays are yesterday, and we started looking at methods in arrays. So what array method did we look at yesterday?
That length dot length
Huh?
dot length index of
Very we looked at dot includes, and we did a simple code. Say we are hosting a party and wanted to check if the person's name is one of our invited guests, right? So we wrote the code down, help us, and we use the array method called we use the array method called includes. All we had to do was tap into the tap into the array and just do dot includes our bracket, then the whatever we would like to check inside, right? So another thing we can also take note of is there are still many other methods for arrays. There are shifts. I just wanted to just tell us about two, right? Which is pop and push. Pop and push. I wrote a code this I wrote a code for array yesterday. So I'm not seeing it in my console. Let me just rename this arrays. Now, this is very simple, right? You can actually create let mobile development MD students equals to this thing I just did here now. What do we call this?
You are creating an array.
This is an empty array. Yeah, you're correct. Thank you. It's an empty array. So just in case, you mustn't always have to come to, just in case maybe you want your users to be the ones to be, adding names so that as they key in names, it's going to be including itself in the array. And it's just that simple. It's the method called push. Now if I run this code now, if I say md students dot push, how do I push now? Do I use this?
Yes, you pass in what you want to push there.
And I enter a name, and then read the grade. Say we want to put Odeshi. Now when we run our MD students, it's telling us the length of the array, that there are what? Two, right? Two sets of strings inside. So as we keep adding, it will just keep adding itself, just like that. If I want to delete, is with the next method I'll be showing us called pop. So I can just do 1. If I do 2, nothing is in 2, but there is 0 and there is 1. Let me try 0. Let me see if it will work. Let's call MD students. Okay, MD students dot pop. So one thing you have to note is that when we are talking about these methods, push and pop, right? They can only push and pop to the end. Um, let me let me open my pens. Just imagine that, let's say this is a crate of eggs, right? Just imagine that this is a crate. This is we creating an empty array. And when we call that, say, when we say that push, when we are pushing things into the array, it's going to be adding to the right. So let's say it's eggs that we're pushing. Let's represent these names with eggs. It is just going to keep coming. Yeah, as long as we keep pushing, it will keep coming here. But when we want to pop, that is the same thing that will happen. We cannot just come to the middle here using pop to remove this. It will not work. You still have to go removing from the right. But there may be a method for that, right? There's literally methods for everything. All you have to do is come to arrays methods in JavaScript, and we can learn about the various methods in JavaScript. We have array length to check the length, to convert to string, delete, concat. So we've seen pop and push. So you can come here, learn how to use them. Of course, you know what length is, right? Anytime we call the length, we are going to know that there are one, two, three, four items in this array. So this at function, they said was introduced in 2022. So ES22 meaning this JavaScript that we are writing is actually called ECMAScript. Okay, so anytime you see ES, it's still the same JavaScript, ES, JS, ECMAScript. So maybe they have a reason. Maybe when it came out, Java was at the top of its game then. So maybe they had a reason why they named it JavaScript so that people will not just want Java or want JavaScript. But it is very, very different from Java, okay? So this is a 2022 method. So we can try this to see what it does. Uh-uh. Already, if I do this on my normal index, it works now. All you need of the dot add since March 2022. Alright. So, is there any questions? Because I want to give the next assignment now. And this next assignment, how many of us have been hearing about Fizzballs? Many of us have come across that term, Fizzballs.
I haven't heard,
You said?
I haven't heard about it.
Okay.
I know here.
Okay, maybe you guys are new now. Fizzballs.
I knew.
You see it, Fizzballs is always everywhere. You know, all of these things, they are just, simple. If you even have a job as a developer, these are some of the things they'll ask you to do, right? So I'm going to be dropping that now, and we'll be trying that out. Okay. So I'll drop that in our chat box as our assignment. We work on that. The syntax is simple. There's a We don't write a code that increments. It says one, two, every time a function. Every time that function is called, it's going to increment. If you call the function, it goes one, because you create an array. You're going to create an array, an incrementing array. One, two, three. Every time you call it, one, two, three, four, five, six. That is simply what it's going to do. But when we say fizzballs, what we're simply demanding of us to do is that when we create that array, for every number divisible by 3, it's going to tell us fees, F-I-C-C, fees. Then any number divisible by 5 is going to interpret balls. Then any number divisible by 3 and 5 is going to return fees balls. So it's just like children are playing. I say 1, this one will say 2, this one will say, instead of 3, what you say is fees. The next person say 4, then me. Instead of I'll say 5, I'll say balls. You see that? So we'll just keep rotating them because 5 is divisible by 5. 3 is divisible by 3. So we'll keep doing that. Then if it's a number that is divisible by both 3 and 5, something like 15, you now say fist balls. Then we'll just keep going. Right? So yeah, Chikeze, let's have your question.
Okay, thank you. Sorry, I've unfortunately been out of the meeting since today. I just joined now. If I understand what you're requiring of us clearly, you want us to create an array of numbers, 1. Then secondly, create a condition where if the number is divisible by, is it 3 or 2?
3.
Then that's without, okay, 3, that's without remainder. You return or you allot fees.
Return.
If not, okay, you return fees.
So not an array
If
of
not,
number. It's a function. Every time you call the function, it increments by itself. So you'll be seeing it when you call the function, it will create an array and add 1. When you call the function again, it creates another array, 2. It creates another array, we see 1, 2. When you call the function again, 1, 2, 3. But now instead of 3, it will be 1, 2 fees. Then 1, 2,
okay,
4. 1, 2 fees, 1, 2, 1, 2 fees, 4 balls. 1, 2 fees, 4 balls, 6. We'll just keep incrementing like that.
okay, this one clear.
So, any other question while we see if we'll call it a day? But hopefully by
But
tomorrow.
you shall drop the question in the group chat. Yeah.
Yes, yes. Hopefully by tomorrow you
Okay,
start
thank you.
looking at dumb manipulation, which is where advanced
That one
JavaScript
is quite
starts.
interesting.
We'll see what we can do on it tomorrow and see if we can introduce more Node.js on Friday. Then next week we start React.
Did you say on Friday introduce small Node.js?
Yes.
Okay, Node.js. Why are we doing Node.js?
Tomorrow is Friday.
Because it helps you run JavaScript in backend.
I don't like Node.js. That they are real waiting. That syntax is this. Let me understand.
No. It's the same JavaScript. It's JavaScript. As far as you know JavaScript, Node.js is not going to stress you. It's still the same JavaScript. Same
Tomorrow is Friday.
JavaScript writing.
But tomorrow is Friday, by the way, and I don't know if
Tomorrow is
I
Friday.
don't know the structure.
Yes,
Yes,
tomorrow
now.
is
Today is
Friday.
Thursday.
Yes.
Okay, now that means we'll see how we'll run very fast tomorrow. I mean, should we start doing manipulation now?
I have something to
I,
do.
meanwhile, I wanted to ask: is it important to, if I don't know, the program could be, this one now could be extended? maybe to incorporate things like OOP.
The central team, or you are free to pay me
Mm.
personally, then we'll do all of that.
Say now my boss be now.
So as my boss will be now, just small money. Oh,
And my boss be go be runner for me.
all right, now let me just drop the assignment so that we start doing it. So please, everybody, just drop me your
All
names
right,
in
thank
the
you.
group so that I'll mark attendance now. Thank you so much, guys. I
All
don't
right,
know.
thank you.
I don't tire like say I don't dey teach since morning.